Well, another set of CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers is upon us, and here's a look at how things stand in the octagonal with 6 match days to go. Canada in the top spot, the only team unbeaten so far through 8 match days. Greg Berhalter's side just 1 point behind them, and let's not forget those two will go head-to-head in Hamilton in this window. El Tri just 1 point behind the US in third, equal on points with fourth place Panama, and then Costa Rica, Jamaica, El Salvador and Honduras all in the bottom half of the table. And for more on the US men's national team, it's a big week, isn't it? So, of course, we had to bring in a very big name. Antonee Robinson joins us now on HQ. Antonee, it's so good to have you with us. We've got so much to talk about. But first of all, how's camp going and how has it been back with the guys in Columbus?
Hi, good to be back on. Thanks for the lovely introduction. Yeah, it's good to be back to see everyone. Obviously, the lads have been in January camp, so they've all been together. And some of the lads out in Europe, we've only just got in yesterday. Had to do all our COVID testing and stuff and get that all cleared. So today's been the first day that I've seen everyone. Been at the training ground. But yeah, great to be back with everyone.
Well, there was an email going around saying that friend of the show, Antonee Robinson, was coming back on here, but realistically, you're a family member now. I'm just, obviously so impressed with the piano playing you did last time for us. I can't quite understand what's going to happen on this time. What's he going to pull out here? But I've got a question about what's happening with World Cup qualifying, because obviously it's iconic to see World Cup qualifying for the US men going through freezing conditions, playing against big games, against big opponents. How do you feel about playing, of course, in Ohio and Minnesota when it comes to World Cup qualifying in freezing temperatures?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a while since I played in snow. I was just saying before, the last time I probably played in snow, it was when I was a kid on my Sunday league team, and we used to have a tradition Boxing Day, and it was dads versus lads. So all the dads would be against all the sons. It was freezing snowy on a crappy field, and that's some of the happiest football I've ever played. So I'll just be sort of picturing that and having happy memories brought back. But then just coming out and playing with the national team in such important games, that's what it's all about. So the conditions they don't faze me or anyone.
All right, it's the return of Jedi. Welcome back to the show, my friend. Question for you. Now, you came in that first game in qualifying against El Salvador away from home with the 65th minute. So you had 25 minutes to get a little taste of what this El Salvadorian national team bring to the table, and they like to sit in a low block and try to counterattack us. So what are you going to do this time around to try to unlock them, because we didn't score in that first game?
Yeah, I think it's going to be, it'll be a completely different game. Obviously, might not be the prettiest game. It's definitely going to be a bit of a battle and, gritty and see who wants it more. But I think we've just got to be really patient, realise that, they're going to try and defend and hold on to, a point or whatever they can salvage from the game. So we've just got to be patient, try and use our quality to break them down and, get the win that way. So going through this week, we're just going to have to work on that out on the training pitch and see the best strategy to break them down.
Fantastic. Good to hear from you, Antonee. First of all, congratulations for the amazing season you guys are doing back home in Fulham. And talking about that, now that you are back with the national team, what do you think, or what are the strengths that you can bring from Fulham, being a successful team, a team that is a win every week and week out, being at the top of the table? What kind of the strength of that team you think that you can bring to the dressing room that you are now at the moment with the qualification that you got in front?
Yeah, I think it's not too dissimilar to the Championship, where you get a team like the US, we're probably one of, if not one of the best teams in this qualifying octagonal, as it's being called. So the expectations are high on us, and we put high demands and high pressure on ourselves to perform. And it's a similar situation at Fulham. We're probably the best team, or one of the best teams in the Championship. So we're expected to do well. We're expected to win every week, and that translates to us going out on the pitch, trying to win every game. Sorry, a few of the lads walking past. But like I was saying, we've been beaten by teams, not doing too well in the league, and it's a similar case here. Like, anyone can beat anyone. It just all comes down to how it is on the day. So in the terms of how it's going to go, we're just taking it one game at a time, and this game against El Salvador is massive.
Anthony, I think you're downplaying just how good Fulham have been there because, I mean, they have been absolutely fantastic, haven't they? And I've got a stat here, actually, 22 goals in your last 4 games for Fulham. And, of course, you got on the score sheet as well. You're now 8 points clear at the top of the championship table. I mean, how good is England for you right now and life over there in London?
Yeah, I can't remember if when I last spoke to you it was before or after we played Notts Forest, because that was a fun game. But
I was dreading you bringing that up. I'm just glad that you're not playing Forest next, honestly, after all these goals.
Yeah, not in the form we're in at the minute, but you know it's been really good. We came off the back of a bit of bad form where we had a few injuries and illness, including myself, in sort of like the end of November, early December, and we got beat by Sheffield United and then had loads of games postponed because of COVID. So we were just really eager to, get on the pitch and prepare very well for the next couple of games coming up. So, when we finally got back on the pitch, I think it's just translated to how well we've been playing and, the aggression and just that sort of winning mentality that we've been going out with, it's just to try and be relentless and not let up on teams and keep scoring. And, it's been very enjoyable. And obviously life at home's really good. I'm a dad now, so been really enjoying that side of life as well. So overall, everything's really good.
Well, I've got 3 kids, so I can tell you it's all downhill from here on out when it comes to your professional career now, because feel free to actually not sleep and then go and play in 90 minutes. It's not easy to do, Anthony. It's not easy. All right, I saw there, obviously, a couple of the guys were trying to wind you up off camera. We can all tell that the guys get along with one another. Very similar ages, and obviously all the players are playing in top leagues around the world, obviously doing very well, successfully, personally. Everyone seems to be very happy. So what is it like from inside the camp yourself with that group of players? Everybody looking forward to getting back together again and getting out on the pitch? Because it seems to me like that chemistry is so unique that you guys have.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's got to the point now, obviously, we've all played with each other so much, and even though it's quite a young group, we've all got so much experiences with each other, whether it's through youth national teams or through the men's national team. So every time you get called up, I'm just looking forward to getting in and seeing the guys, catching up on how they've been doing and what's been going on. And then, even on and off the pitch, we all get on so well. So, like you said, I think chemistry onto the pitch, and we're all ready to work hard for each other. We know each other's strengths and weaknesses, so we'll use that to the most that we can.
Talking to the guys, Anthony, last time we spoke to you, you spoke about the NFL and how fantasy football was a big thing within the camp, and you were trying to get into it. Yep. You weren't convinced as of yet last time, but I'm sure after yesterday's game, I mean, even I was into it yesterday. There was 2 fantastic games, wasn't there? Were the guys watching it, and did you manage to get a bit more into it last night?
So I didn't see it, unfortunately. I was asleep. I was quite jet lagged, but I literally woke up and, my whole phone was blowing up talking about the NFL. All the boys were talking about it. They all love it. I'm going to try and get back into it just in time for the Super Bowl again. Just to try and, whoever wins, I'll just be a bit of a glory hunting fan and jump on them. So I'm really looking forward to it, because last year, it was fun staying up and watching that. But yeah, I'm still not quite as into it as the other lads, but they're really enjoying it, so.
Oh, well, the Super Bowl, that's always the one to watch anyway, isn't it, Anthony? Fantastic to have you with us. We're wishing you the absolute best of luck against El Salvador, and enjoy the rest of this qualifying window.
Yeah, good luck.
Perfect. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. Good to see you all.
Yeah, baby. Always
good.
great, isn't he?
Brilliant to have Antonee Robinson on with us there. Well, let's take a look then at what we've got coming up, because the US at home in Columbus to take on El Salvador. El Salvador have lost all 3 away matches so far in this qualifying campaign. No doubt Greg Berhalter hoping that continues.
Listen, I just want to see the boys play their best performance. I think it's so important. Obviously, I mentioned there to Anthony how important it is to recognise the World Cup qualifying and freezing conditions being iconic, because it really is for us US soccer fans. So, yeah, I want to see a big performance.
All right, well, it's a massively important window coming up, isn't it? And there's going to be a couple of changes for this one. So for more on that, our football laws analyst, Christina Uncle, joins us now. Christina, bring us up to date with the latest, because now we are going to see VAR, aren't we, for the remainder of this qualifying schedule?
We are. We've heard everyone scream for it, complain for it, want it, and now it's finally coming. VAR is coming to CONCACAF for the rest of the World Cup qualifiers. Obviously, it shocked everyone when it didn't happen back in September, and us being only one of 2 federations across the world that did not have VAR implemented. But this is something a little bit unique, because typically when you are in a competition play or league play, you don't implement the new laws. You don't implement a new process because it can unfairly prejudice someone. But, you know, it was needed. I can at least speak on behalf of the referees. They are excited to finally have VAR, that the stadiums are now fully accredited. We have already had qualified VARs, and now we'll be able to see that implemented to make sure that no game critical decisions and people are left out of the World Cup due to a referee error.
Now, Christina, #1 fan over here, Jimmy Conrad, and with regard to VAR, are they implementing like the full suite of what it's capable of, like goal line technology and handballs? Are they going to go millimeter with the offside rule? Is an arm offside? Like which iteration of VAR are they throwing into this CONCACAF World Cup qualifying?
Well, that's fascinating because I didn't know that there was different levels of VAR that can be implemented into it. So perfect. There is not different levels of VAR, but yes, we will not have, unfortunately, goal line technology, which is a different type of technology we use. We will be applying to VAR, which is the only standard we have, which is a clear and obvious error for whenever there's a recommendation by the VAR. Due to the fact that we do not, in this one, at least from my understanding at this point, have potentially the lines to put in place down, you may not be seeing those toes being keeping people offside. If they do implement that, obviously there has been recommendation that, right, we must make sure that it is clear and obvious, and that it is the proper part of the body that is keeping that person in an offside position. So I hope to see it implemented properly. Like I said, I know quite a number of the VARs that are going to be on these matches are overly qualified, having served in World Cups already with VAR in the Olympics. So I don't think we're going to see anything kind of wonky like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I look forward to speaking to you after these World Cup qualifiers. And we'll see how well it's been implemented when it comes to these World Cup qualifiers. I'm excited to see it.
Good news for now, though, isn't it, of course, to have VAR implemented. And Christina, Uncle, I can see Jimmy Conrad. He's got questions, hasn't he? Jimmy, we'll see how it all plays out. But Christina, thank you so much for bringing us up to date with the latest. And I'm sure we'll be catching up with you very, very soon. Well, let's talk about these matches then in this qualifying window because, Jimmy, of course, we know the roster that Greg has selected. But what are you expecting the approach from Greg to be for these 3 crucial matches we've got coming up?
Yeah, great question, Poppy. I think it starts with what kind of team we're going to roll out. The last time we played against El Salvador, we did play Canada at home, and we had a bit of a mixed squad. For example, John Anthony Brooks didn't play that first game against El Salvador away from home, but did play against Canada the next game. And I think we're getting to a point in the window where we just have to roll out our best 11 right from the get-go, make sure we secure those 3 points at home, and then try to go to Canada where it's going to be a difficult match, even without Alphonso Davies, get a point, and then try to win your other home game. I want to see our best 11 ultimately for all 3 of these matches. As we learned the last time we had 3 games in 8 days, we rolled out a second or a different team. We beat Jamaica at home, then went down to Panama and had a mixed squad with like 7 or 8 changes, and we lost. So I want there to be some consistency and some continuity with the lineup so that we can continue to build these really important relationships as we get into really identifying who our best 11 is and making sure they get as many minutes together as possible.
Jimmy, let me talk a little bit about, because you normally break down the team very well, but I would like to talk a little bit about how the schedule is looking at the moment, because it looks like it's not important because the games are coming. So you face the first one, it's El Salvador, so let's go ahead and try to win this game. But it's very important to try to read the situation. That is that the U.S. men's national team is going to face El Salvador and is going to face Honduras later on, and Canada is going to do exactly the same. The other teams that they're going to have tough games are going to be Mexico, Panama, and Costa Rica. They are just right below U.S. men's national team in Canada. You don't want to arrive to the last games of the competition with meat. You want to arrive with a big gap so you can open it now at the moment. So it's very important, it's crucial, I would say, that the national team kind of wins at least 1 or 2 of these last 3 games, because it's very important to arrive to that last part with a gap that is enough space to maybe have 1 or 2 errors, because if Panama and Costa Rica, they don't win these games that they are coming up, they're going to make a few points behind Mexico and behind Canada and U.S. men's national team. So very important that at the moment the first game is won, and then Canada. Let's see how it goes. But it's crucial that they understand that these first 3 games are going to be vital to don't arrive until the last part with a lot of needs, and maybe you can have big errors or big mistakes.
Yeah, I think that's why, obviously, Jimmy wants to see that best team going out in the first game. And I think Greg has to put his best team out in that first matchup because you have to focus on the most important game, which is your next game. So 110% you focus on that first game. I think I'm wondering where the players' heads are at, obviously, coming into camp. We talked to Antonee a moment ago, and confidence is flying high. When you're sitting pretty at the top of the championship or your domestic table, it's pretty easy to go to national team camp, and you can see that pep in his step. You can just kind of feel the energy and the confidence coming out of his veins, and I love to see that. But there are players who have not necessarily had a good time of late, or even coming off a disappointing weekend where Christian hadn't played, and then Pepe got hammered by a Leverkusen 5-1. If you look at Tyler Adams on the bench, played 35 minutes. So obviously they had a 2-0 win against Wolfsburg, and John Brooks was on the opposite side of that one. Weston McKennie, 0-0. Obviously not the result he wanted, but obviously a good performance for him. And then Richards lost his game. So there's different players, different personalities, all coming into cap from different perspectives. Confidence levels are all going to be different. But there's something about this group of players, and that's why I wanted to ask Antonee about the chemistry. There's something about the chemistry within this team that when they get together, they're all happy, they're all bouncing, they're ready to get out there and play. The conditions are going to play a big role in this game, I feel. The next 3 games, the conditions are going to play a big role. So I still want to see that top performance, which I don't think we've seen yet. But you can tell that these players are looking forward to getting out on the pitch and playing with one another. And that excites me that maybe we might see in one of these 3 games their best performance. And I hope it comes in the next one. And then we focus on the one after that and try to bring it again.
All right, well, can it translate into results then is the question. It is a massively important window for Greg Berhalter and his side. And let's take a look then at what we've got to look forward to here on CBS Sports and Paramount Plus, because you can catch Canada against the US. We'll have all the coverage for you, both in studio and on site. And then, of course, the other matches, El Salvador and Honduras, will make up the 3 from this qualifying window. And all eyes on the US men's national team as the road to Qatar 2022 continues.